Good day and welcome to Google Slides mini tutorials. In this tutorial, I'm going to go through a Google help document that's designed to help you if you have trouble editing any of your Google files, such as your docs, your sheets, your slides, or your forms. Because this is a Google Slides tutorial, any reference I make is going to be to Google Slides, but this applies to any of the other types of Google documents that they offer. So on this webpage here, which I'll provide the link in the description, it will go through a series of questions with you to help you identify the problem that you're having and get it fixed. So it's fairly intuitive. It's just straightforward. But if you have trouble accessing any of your documents, if you are going in and editing a slide, or you try to bring up your slides and it won't load, or if you have any problems whatsoever, go to this website, this troubleshooter, and hopefully it will resolve your issue. But if it doesn't, at the end, there's an option there to contact Google support, and they'll go ahead and see if they can get you up and running. So I'll go through a couple questions here. It's a very short troubleshooter, but it's designed to help you as much as possible. So the very first question they ask you is, have you cleared your cache? So this is, I'll read them out and go through each of them. So clear your cache or cookies. See browser-specific instructions for doing so. Did clearing your cache and cookies resolve the issue? So you follow the instructions under the browser-specific instructions, and if that resolved the issue, then obviously you pick yes, and Google just says great. But if it doesn't, then you go ahead and choose no. Then it says try accessing your file from another browser or on another operating system. See a list of the configurations we support. Did accessing your file in another browser or operating system resolve your issue? So if you have another computer in your house that has Windows 8, or even another computer that has Windows 10, same as what you have on your main computer, whatever the case may be, just try another computer or another operating system and see if that fixes the issue. Also, as well, if you notice on the bottom, I have Firefox and Google Chrome. So in this case, you can also try a different browser and see if you can load it up, because if you have certain add-ons on Firefox, I know from experience that sometimes pages have trouble loading depending on the add-ons that you have. So using a different browser will determine if it's a problem with the site or if it's a problem on your computer itself. So we're going to go ahead and say no, that didn't fix the issue. The next option is try disabling any interfering browser plugins or extensions which can cause pages to render incorrectly, refresh continually, or corrupt page elements with HTML script element or HTML object element text. See specific instructions for doing so in Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, and Safari. Was a browser plugin or extension the cause of the issue? And that's exactly what I just mentioned a second ago. A lot of Firefox plugins can cause problems. I actually have a problem now that I have to use Google Chrome sometimes on websites just because one of the plugins I have doesn't allow the page to finish loading in Firefox. So definitely check out a different disable some of your plugins or use a different browser and see if that fixes the issue. We're going to go ahead and say no. Check whether your computer is behind a firewall. If it is, have a domain or network administrator help you with your firewall settings. So this applies to businesses. If you're at home, then you would actually do your own firewall. So you can, usually down in the corner here by your time, if you choose the little arrow, there's a firewall there. A lot of times you can right click on that firewall and choose to disable it for 10 minutes or disable it until your computer restarts again. So if you're not sure how to go into your firewall or how to modify things in it, at least if you can find the option to disable it for 10 minutes. If you disable it and it works, and then when it re-enables it doesn't work, then you know there's a setting in your firewall that's causing a problem. And you can choose this option here to go through some of the settings, or you can seek assistance on getting help with it. If you're in a company, then that's going to be a lot more difficult. And I would highly doubt, unless you're a small company that does a lot of its own stuff, contacting the domain or network administrator might be a bit difficult, but it's definitely an option. So we're going to go ahead and say no here. make sure you have not exceeded your Google Docs editor file size limits. So obviously Google limits the size of your file. So if you have a lot of pictures and a lot of slides, you might have made your presentation too big. So if that's the case, you can have a look here, and you might have to split your presentation into two separate files or whatever you need to do to solve that. So that's one thing I get you to check. We're going to say no. If you have offline editing enabled, try disabling and re-enabling offline access. Sometimes, like the age-old thing that you heard, did you restart it if you have problems with your computer? Everything is the same way. Sometimes things happen. So if it's not working, then they recommend trying to turn off the offline editing and then turn it back on and see if that fixes the problem. And it very well might. And the last thing is, if you uploaded a document for editing, but have a view-only access, make sure you have converted the file to a Google Docs editor format. To do so, you click on File menu, Open With, and choose Google Docs Editor. So what this allows you to do is, instead of just opening up a PowerPoint file, this will actually let you open it up with a different type. So I don't know if that makes sense, but basically means that you're converting it rather than just opening it, because Google supports the different file types. So this will actually convert the file to a Google supported file type rather than just accessing the file that it understands. I'm going to go ahead and say no. And then that's it. You're through the tutorial. If you haven't found a problem, then you can go to the Google Docs forum and ask your question there, describe your problem, post any screenshots of the issues that you're having. And if that doesn't work, you can always go to the Google Apps customer care, which by contacting the Google Apps team. So that's it. That's how you go through the Google tutorial or troubleshooter to try to resolve issues that you're having with accessing your Google Slides. Hope this is helpful. As always, comment below and I'll answer any questions that you have, and don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day.